Bradford City's case, in 1981, the club had literally, 4 months earlier, got the lowest ever crowd. The stadium was falling to pieces, literally around our ears. And the last bit of silverware we'd won was a 3rd Division North back in 1929. So, and really, I mean, I think the longest cut run we've been on since 1913 was 1976. But you know, times in that point, there weren't any glorious times at Bradford City, and my reluctance was because actually I devoured a load of Rotherham's football yearbooks, and I knew this because I made it my business. But really, it was about sort of going with my dad, my brother, my uncle, my grandfather, and you're introduced to an adult world of male banter and camaraderie, and I mean, I think I was reluctant for all of the first 45 minutes.
Obviously, your dad played a big part in making you a Bradford City fan in those days. One story you tell in the book, as we both, you knew the stand well, the ground well, I did. One story you tell in the book is, as of a child, of dropping a Kit Kat wrapper under the wooden stand. What did your dad say then?
My dad wasn't happy, and he just looked at me and he said, "What are you doing?" kind of thing. Are you stupid? And I was like, my dad didn't often get angry, and I was a bit sort of taken aback because Dad didn't get angry as a rule. And I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Stand, it's fire hazard, can't see it." It was sort of, can't see it. And looking around at the people sort of around us, because we had season tickets in C Block at the time, trying to find sort of support from the people I bantered with. Not one person actually provided anything.
Right.
So there was an awareness of the state of the stand, but the interesting thing was that my father actually insisted that I actually tried to get the Kit Kat wrapper out. So I actually ended up literally on the floorboards of the main stand at the back with my Parker arm down the back row we were sat on, literally trying to fish it out. And the only thing that could be fished out were cobwebs, which actually, when my arm came out, were literally just covering my arm. So, I tried, and you know what kids like, I'd be 8 or 9 at the time, quite dexterous little beings, aren't they? And there was nothing at the bottom of that stand other than I think I felt a bit of soil, just like cobwebs, which I suppose it had its own little microenvironment.
It did, didn't it? Not half. Fast forward, obviously, 3 or 4 years to the ill-fated day. The conversation you had in the car going. What was it you said to your dad at age 12 on the way about what would he want?
Yeah, I mean, because my mum had lost her father at the age of 12, and before we left that day, sort of, my brother had broken a radio-controlled car which we got over for a weekend. And my mum ended up shouting at me, ended up going and sitting in the car by myself until we left about 30-40 minutes later, reading the Daily Telegraph. And on the way up, he sort of said, "Yeah, try and see it from my mum's position, because remember, your mum did lose her dad at your age, and she's finding it a little bit tough." We're not the time. Right. So, I guess in trying to sort of find that empathetic sort of bond and understanding, I just asked my dad, what would he want from me if he was to die? Little realising that literally I was being told by a guy who would be dead no more than 4 or 5 hours later. At the age of 34, his initial reaction was, "Come on, son, I'm 34, I'm not exactly going to die anytime soon." I just said I'd like to know, and he told me, and it was sort of the old cooling towers by Sheffield.
Yes, Tinsley Viaduct.
Yeah, I remember he was just trying to sort of get that feeling of seeing it from my mum's perspective, because it was something which at that point I couldn't comprehend. I mean, little did I know what was going to unfold later that day, but at that time it was just really trying to find that sort of empathy and trying to find that understanding.
How did you come to be separated from dad, brother, granddad, uncle?
We were moving as fast as the stand could allow you to. I mean, if you go to a football game today and you find yourself at the front of Arsenal, it could take 10 minutes to get out.
Sure.
Because the gangways are only so narrow, and at Bradford they were very narrow, one-person gangways. So effectively, it emptied out backwards. Sort of the front row of the rear section, which is where the 5 began, and then the row behind it, row behind it. We were second, third row from the back. And I remember sort of seeing these flames down underneath the stand. I thought, that doesn't look particularly good. So I swore. My dad clipped me around the ear. I pointed the flames out. And literally, we're just tips, literally no longer than my fingertips now. And ultimately, because it was the second time I felt I'd been unfairly reprimanded that day, my uncle suggested the kids. My dad went with the kids. My dad suggested me and my brother went together. My brother didn't want to come with me. I wasn't particularly happy, so I looked at my dad. He's like, "Yeah, go then." So I just jumped on the bench seats that we had then and just ran across the bench seat to the end, which gave me a bit of a head start. Not much, but a bit. And then I looked back from the end of that road. My dad was like, "Go on, son, we're following." And then you end up in this sort of corridor, 4 foot wide, and it's gridlocked for 80, 90 seconds, literally. Then we walk about 5-10 metres, about 5-10 seconds, and then it just goes completely black. And at that point, really, pretty much everybody in that part of the stand will perish, unfortunately, like myself.
You give your account. I'm not going to go through it here, but your account is very vivid. I think everybody's commented on that. How you felt consciousness detached from your body, and you think you knew it was time to die, etc. How did you get out there? You saw a chink of light?
A couple of reasons, really. I mean, I've not been happy in the back of the stand, so my dad was calming me down a little bit, told me to take deep breaths. And
so your dad, you're separated, but not by so far.
No.
You can still hear him talking to each other.
Probably just like being sort of, I don't know, by second podium over there.
Yeah.
So he calmed me down, deep breaths. So I was taking these deep breaths in, deep breaths out. I'd taken a deep breath in, thankfully, and then it was just like someone to switch the lights off. And I had a lung full of clear air, and I was like, and I just gingerly as I could, because I thought it's not quite right here, gingerly as I could, I sniffed it, gingerly as I could. And that was what crunched consciousness, but it never hit the respiratory tract. It never hit the respiratory tract.
Right.
It never actually, you never got the toxins actually to part of the respiratory tract system. So my head cleared, then it was just silence around me, and I just heard this distant voice get everybody into the picture. I knew where the wall was because I knew the stand so well, inside of it, so I felt myself across the turnstile walk, as you couldn't see an inch in front of you. And then I sort of looked down towards what we were Bradford in, and there was one break in this blackness, and that was coming from the E block stairwell. I was opposite the F block stairwell, literally 3 feet away, but I couldn't see into it. So I ran to E block, and it was an unobstructed run to E block. No one was running with me, no one else used E block, and I stepped into E block to find myself walked into an inferno.
You mentioned that you'd had season tickets before you moved to Nottingham.
Yeah.
Before the family moved to Nottingham, you had season tickets in C block. Disasters are full of what ifs. You knew that ground so well. Do you believe that if you'd still been in C block, not G, you'd all be alive?
Well, 2/3 of the people who died that day did so having sat in 3 or 4 rows of G block.
Right, in G block where you all were.
If you were sat on C block, if you were in C block, then you had 4 or 5 blocks beneath you, between you and G block, and equally there was access out the back behind C block as well. So it wasn't the other half of the stand. So ultimately, yeah, if we'd have had those season ticket seats, and
Do you know who threw you on the pitch? Somebody got chucked you on the...
I mean, it was chaos down there.
There were heroes. Heroes on the day.
Full of heroes. I mean, there was 40. I think there was 45 police officers documented as at least having saved one life that day, and it would have been at least one. But for those police officers, but for those fans, many of whom were not documented, it would have been a 3-figure death toll. There's no doubt about that.